Today, we're diving into the concept of intelligence. We'll start by understanding what intelligence really means, looking at its definition and nature. From there, we'll move on to intelligence quotient, how intelligence is assessed, helping us get a clearer picture of an individual's intellectual abilities. When we talk about intelligence, we're referring to a unique aspect of an individual's personality. According to David Wexler, intelligence is essentially a person's ability to adapt and adjust to the world around them. He defines it as the overall capacity to think rationally, act with purpose, and effectively manage challenges in the environment. This means intelligence isn't just about book smarts, it also involves how well someone can learn, adapt, and engage in abstract thinking. It's a broad concept that covers problem solving, understanding complex ideas, and responding appropriately to different situations. On this slide, we explore several important definitions of intelligence from different experts. Thorndike views intelligence as the ability to provide responses that are true or accurate, emphasizing accuracy in our thinking. Terman, on the other hand, highlights intelligence as the capacity for abstract thinking, which involves reasoning beyond concrete information. Piaget brings in a biological perspective, describing intelligence as an adaptation process where we continuously absorb new information and adjust our understanding, through assimilation and accommodation. Binet sees intelligence as goal-directed behavior, meaning our actions and thoughts are purposeful and aimed at achieving certain objectives. Finally, Guilford emphasizes the creative aspect of intelligence, highlighting originality and innovation as key components. Together, these definitions show us that intelligence is a multifaceted concept that goes beyond just knowledge or memory. Let's look at the different types of intelligence. First, mechanical intelligence refers to the skill of working with tools, gadgets, and machines. People with this intelligence, like mechanical engineers, are great at understanding how things work and fixing or building machines. Next, we have abstract intelligence. This involves handling words, numbers, formulas, and scientific concepts. Professions like lawyers, doctors, and literary figures often rely on this type of intelligence to analyze complex information and solve problems. Finally, social intelligence is about understanding people and navigating human relationships effectively. Those with strong social intelligence, such as salesmen, diplomats, and politicians, know how to communicate, persuade, and build connections that help them succeed. Each of these intelligence types plays a crucial role in different fields and everyday situations. On this slide, we explore the difference between intelligence and aptitude. Intelligence tests assess a person's overall capacity or potential, that is, their general ability to understand and process information. Aptitude tests, on the other hand, focus more specifically on predicting what someone can achieve with proper training. Aptitude itself is a blend of traits that indicate how well a person is likely to acquire a specific skill or body of knowledge. For example, it could show whether someone might become a good musician or engineer with the right education and practice. Bingham describes aptitude as a set of characteristics that show an individual's ability to learn something specific with training. Van Duze adds to this by saying aptitude measures how quickly someone is likely to learn while also enjoying the process, highlighting that aptitude tends to be more narrow and focused than general intelligence. So, understanding both concepts helps us better evaluate potential and predict learning success in targeted areas. Theories of intelligence explain the structure and components of intelligence. 1. Unitary theory/monarchic theory. Intelligence is considered as a single general ability. One common mental power is used for all activities. A person good in one area is expected to be good in all areas. Limitation. Does not explain special talents or individual differences. 2. Multi-factor theory/anarchic theory. Proposed by Edward Thorndike. Intelligence is made up of many separate abilities. Different tasks require different mental skills. A person may perform well in one area and not in another. Advantage. Explains individual differences better. Spearman's two-factor theory. proposed by Charles Spearman. Spearman stated that intelligence consists of two factors. General factor, G. Common ability used in all tasks. Specific factor, S. Special ability needed for a particular task. According to this theory, every activity involves both general and specific intelligence. Thurston's 7 primary mental abilities. Proposed by Louis Leon Thurston. Thurston explained that intelligence is not a single ability but a group of several primary mental abilities. He identified 7 important mental abilities present in individuals. These include verbal comprehension, word fluency, number facility, spatial visualization, associative memory, perceptual speed, and reasoning. According to Thurston, people may be strong in one ability and weaker in another. This theory helps explain individual differences in intelligence and learning abilities. Classification of intelligence tests. Intelligence tests can be classified on different bases. On the basis of size, they are divided into individual tests, conducted for one person at a time, and group tests, administered to many people together. On the basis of medium used, intelligence tests include paper-pencil tests, verbal tests, nonverbal tests, performance tests, and culture-fair or culture-free tests. These classifications help psychologists choose suitable tests according to the purpose and population being assessed. Assessment of intelligence. Alfred Binet was the first psychologist to develop an intelligence test. He studied psychological problems among school children and believed intelligence could be measured through graded psychological tests. Along with Simon, he developed the first intelligence scale in 1905. The test included activities related to attention, memory, discrimination, and reasoning. The scale contained 30 items arranged from simple to difficult levels to assess children's intellectual abilities. Concept of IQ. Alfred Binet introduced the concept of mental age, and later Stern proposed the term intelligence quotient or IQ. IQ represents the relationship between mental age and chronological age. Mental age refers to the level of intellectual performance achieved by an individual. For example, if a child performs tasks meant for their own age, the intelligence level is considered average. If the child performs tasks meant for older children, the mental age is considered higher. Chronological age refers to the actual age of the individual calculated from the date of birth. The Terman classification of IQ was an early system developed to categorize intelligence levels based on IQ scores. It divided individuals into ranges, each with a label reflecting perceived ability. Scores above 140 were considered genius, while 120 to 139 indicated very superior or gifted. Those scoring 110 to 119 were labeled superior, and 90 to 109 fell into the average range. Lower scores were classified as slow learners, 80 to 89, or borderline, 70 to 79. Below this, terms like morons, 50 to 69, imbeciles, 25 to 49, and idiots, below 24, were used. These terms, though common in early psychology, are now outdated and considered offensive. Modern psychology emphasizes respectful, supportive language and recognizes intelligence as multidimensional, not just a single score. This classification remains historically significant as it shows how early psychologists attempted to measure and categorize human ability. The Wechsler scale of intelligence was developed by David Wechsler in New York, with the first version, the Wechsler-Bellevue scale, introduced in 1939. It became a major tool for clinical psychologists after World War II. Two main versions followed, the WAIS, Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale, for ages 16 and above, and the WISC, Wechsler Intelligence Scale for children, for ages 5 to 15. The scale is divided into verbal and performance subtests, covering areas like vocabulary, arithmetic, picture completion, and block design. Together, these subtests provide a detailed profile of cognitive abilities and can even help identify localized brain damage. The Wechsler intelligence tests include both verbal and performance scales, each designed to measure different aspects of cognitive ability. The verbal scale covers areas like arithmetic reasoning, similarities, and vocabulary, focusing on language, memory, and problem solving. Now, let's talk about Raven's progressive matrices tests, often referred to as RPMT. These tests are designed to measure abstract reasoning and are considered a good indicator of general intelligence. What makes RPMT unique is that it's a nonverbal assessment, relying on visual patterns instead of language skills, which means it can be used across different cultures and languages without bias. The test presents a series of patterns with one piece missing, and the task is to identify the correct piece to complete the pattern. This approach not only examines problem-solving abilities but also the ability to recognize relationships and think logically under pressure. Overall, RPMT is widely used in both educational and psychological settings to assess cognitive functioning in a clear, straightforward way. Body as Battery is a nonverbal intelligence assessment designed for individuals who may be illiterate or unable to speak or hear. It consists of 5 subtests: Coe's block design, pass-along test, pattern drawing, immediate memory for sound, and picture construction. These tasks rely on motor responses rather than language, making them widely accessible. The test evaluates reasoning, memory, and problem-solving through practical activities. As we wrap up this presentation, I want to thank you for your time and attention. We've covered some important concepts and key takeaways that I hope will be useful moving forward. If you have any questions or want to discuss any points in more detail, please feel free to reach out. Your feedback and engagement are always welcome. Let's keep the conversation going.